Good morning, the internet. I'm here to talk to you about the end of America and a call to service. It seems clear at this point that if Trump wins this upcoming election, that our constitutional system may not survive. I don't think it's quite a foregone conclusion, but we're already teetering on the edge, and 4 more years, if he wins or whatever, I think there's a real chance that that's the end of our constitutional system. Obviously, like, the continent will still be here, the vast majority of us will still be alive, there will still be something, but I think our constitutional arrangement will fail. I think that is more likely than not if he wins. To that end, I'm specifically encouraging you to go become a poll worker. I will include a link to the the National Association of States Attorneys General, where you can pick your state and it will bring you to how to become a poll worker where you live. It is clear that Trump is going to lose the popular vote, as he did before. He will lose that again. He will lose it worse. But what we need in order to be sure that he actually leaves is clarity. Quick clarity about counting, how badly he lost, where did he lose. And one of the ways that you can help with that in a way that might not otherwise occur to you is become a poll worker. A lot of people who are poll workers, at least where I live, are very old retirees who are there for a variety of reasons, boredom, not to disparage those people, but they are not bright, vibrant professionals at the peak of their capacity. You might be that. And your presence may not just quicken or increase the reliability of a count, but your presence might keep a polling place open, because a lot of those retirees don't want to be in public with coronavirus. So if you live in, I don't even know the numbers. There's a chance that if you take a job, because a lot of these are paying, as a poll worker for a day, you could husband thousands of votes that otherwise might not make it. If you can take a line of voters from 8 hours to 6 hours in some, underrepresented place, some ill-served place, and you can go stand and count votes someplace, that otherwise there would be 3 people and now there's 4. A bunch of those people who might have wanted to vote but just can't stand in line for 8 hours, but they could stand there for 6, and you made the difference. Those are the kinds of things that are directly obvious that having people of good health and good conscience present and counting votes could do. Also, it's clear that those of us who care about the world as it exists need to participate in it more than we had to, frankly. You could be a good citizen in the 1990s and just go to work and not commit crimes, and that was it. You did a good job. Thank you for your service. That was it. It's not enough anymore. At the very least, we have to count the vote. So, again, in this video, there will be, in the comments, there'll be a link to a way to find out how to do it. A couple people in my life did it. I am very proud of them. I am going to sign up later. I tried already once, but they didn't seem to notice my efforts, so I'm going to try again. And if you do get involved in how we vote, which please do, but if you do, pay attention. Maybe you'll care that it doesn't run very well. Maybe you'll care that, we're running bad machines with there are boring, mechanistic, managerial problems that we have in this country everywhere because our government has rotted from the inside. And if we get involved, us people of goodwill, good conscience, and professional capacity, maybe we can fix some of that rot and make this thing actually work, because it should be doing things that it's not doing. Which brings me to my second call to service. If we continue to have a federal government, it is woefully understaffed. It's not just understaffed, it's also staffed by terrible people. Recently, right? I don't mean just generally, but Trump's put a bunch of bad people in. And the bad people that Trump put in probably put in other terrible people. Also, they just haven't hired a bunch of people. So they've just screwed the whole thing up. So let's say we live in a world where Biden wins and we have a political party that believes that government should exist and do stuff. They will need people to do things. And I am encouraging you to look at federal and state jobs where you could take a job in the federal government or in the government generally and go there to not just work, but to be a person of conscience within the government. Think about how different things would be if people at the IRS considered their job to be defending the Constitution. We could maybe have, civil disobedience leaking things, civil disobedience making stuff public that currently nobody's doing, right? Because the people who are there, for whatever reason, aren't doing it. And what I think a lot of people don't recognize or hadn't ever considered, I certainly hadn't until some of the chatter about the task that the Biden administration will have, right? They're going to have a huge hiring problem. They're going to have to get a ton of people. And it could be people of patriotic goodwill who want the government to run well. It could be you. And you could go there and push for things to work properly in a way that it's not clear who ends up there or why, but federal workers get disparaged as, whatever. Not to get into a whole thing about why, but they do. But they're, technocrats. They run the government. And the government does stuff that, if it was doing it well, our lives would be better. And there's a lot of stuff about, go vote and blah, blah, blah. And it's true. You should care more about your local elections. You should probably run for something, right? That's what you really ought to do. But the thing is, most of us don't care that much. Most of us aren't like that, right? I thought about it, and I don't want to do that, right? But I could do my current job. I looked today, I could run an IT department in the Smithsonian, sure, or the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I'd love to help make the Bureau of Labor Statistics work better. I don't care about my for-profit company. I don't care about my shareholders. But what if we had better numbers? More accurate numbers? That sounds great, right? And you could go do something, right? And it would be your daily task. It would be how you won your bread. But then it would give you a rolling opportunity to improve the lot of the people around you. to advocate for more efficiency, to advocate for more robust services, whatever it was that needed doing, you could bring your values into the structure that provides services to U.S. citizens. I'm going to include a link to USA Jobs, which is so much better than it was last time I looked, because I haven't looked for a federal job in a long time, but when I looked, it was super bad. It seems not that bad. I imagine the application process is a nightmare, but again, this is not just like, hey, you could have a really cool job. Like, no, you could have a job with like really good benefits and help defend the country from incompetence, malfeasance, idiocy, nepotism, and crazy orange men. And just have a day job. And have your day job be more meaningful. Or maybe less meaningful. Some of you probably do awesome shit. Anyway, go vote. Not twice, as the president recently advocated, which is a felony. But once. Go vote once. Vote early. And go look to see if you can be a poll worker. Might get you a couple $100. Might get you a couple bucks. Might get you nothing. But you might help out. And you might make the difference. You know, the Bush-Gore election, as famously was decided by 587 votes. I mean, really, it was decided by 5 votes, but be that as it may. Another 600 votes in the right category would have kept us out of Iraq. So go vote. Go work at a poll. Consider working for the government. It'd be cooler if all of those things happened better, if we had more voting and better people working in the government than we currently do. Thanks for staying alive, and I'll talk to you later.